Hey kids, we're going to talk about a new topic today. We're going to talk about energy and the different forms of energy that there are. We are going to learn about how we use and produce energy every single day. Energy is the ability to do work or cause change. We will learn about 5 forms of energy this year in 5th grade. One of the forms has 2 types, so keep that in mind. It's almost like we're learning 7 forms. When we say that energy is the ability to do work or cause change, what we mean is when energy is used, things change. For example, if we add thermal energy to ice, it will change from a solid to a liquid. So thermal energy has caused a change in that case. When we say that we want energy to do work, sometimes that means just the food that we eat using chemical energy in our bodies enables us to carry out our work tasks throughout the day. Sometimes it means something physical work, like moving a box. We are using energy to move a box. Even if that energy is electrical, if I put a box on a conveyor belt, that electricity is moving the belt and it's allowing work to be done by moving the box from one place to another. When we look at this slide, we can see 5 pictures representing our 5 forms of energy. Take a minute with the people at your table and talk about the 5 forms of energy that you see and what you think the 5 forms might be. Class. Good job. So the 5 forms of energy that you might have seen in this picture could be mechanical. The car is moving. That's moving parts, mechanical energy. Electrical in the form of the battery, which is chemical electrical. A chemical reaction happens inside the battery, causing an electric current to light the bulb. Light energy with the lamp, the picture of the lighted lamp in the middle. Sound energy coming out of the saxophone, sound waves, creating beautiful music for us. And then, of course, heat energy coming from the sun. Mechanical energy is the first one we're going to talk about, and that's the one that has 2 parts. Within mechanical energy, we sometimes talk about potential mechanical energy, which is the possibility of energy. Potential energy is an object at rest. It's the roller coaster at the top of the hill. It's not moving. There's a whole bunch of stored energy, and as soon as it reaches over that edge, it's going to go zooming down the track. That zooming energy is kinetic energy. And if you look at how the word kinetic is spelled, K-I-N-E-T-I-C, I bet you would recognize that an Xbox Kinect, it's not connect like C-O-N-N-E-C-T, it's Kinect because if you use the Xbox Kinect, you have to move to play the game. Kinetic energy is the energy of movement. So that Xbox Kinect was named that way for a reason based on the type of energy that causes movement. Electrical energy is the movement of charged particles. So electrons are those particles. Please don't get confused with the word particles. It's not matter. It's not atoms. It's not elements. It's energy. It's particles of energy. They're electrons. Electricity can be produced in power plants where we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. Or alternative energy resources like solar energy can be used to create electricity. Wind can be used to create electricity. Hydroelectric power, geothermal, and even biomass can be used to create electricity. Current electricity comes through the wires outside from the power plants and goes into the electrical outlets in the wall where we plug things in. Chemical electric energy happens in batteries, which that electricity is not nearly as strong as current electricity, but it can be very useful and it's portable. I can pick up the batteries and I can take them with me and use them to power things in my hands where I may not have a plug or access to current electricity. Light energy travels in waves and in a straight line. So sometimes that sounds confusing, but we will talk about it more as the days go on. Light can travel through empty space where there is no matter, like outer space. And there are two natural sources of light energy. The sun is one of the natural sources, and fire. And if you recall, even though it's not for 5th grade, it's for later on, so don't be stressed out about remembering it, but we did talk about a little bit. Bioluminescence is living things that light up, like fireflies and anglerfish, like the one in Nemo, and some glowworms, some jellyfish light up. So that's another source of natural light. Thermal energy is also known as heat energy, and we get thermal energy when molecules of matter, this time the particles we are talking about matter, when those molecules move faster and faster, they create heat energy. Energy is not matter, don't be confused by that. But when matter moves faster and faster, it creates heat. Take, for example, rubbing your hands together. If you do that right now, rub your hands back and forth really, really fast, your hands will heat up. That's friction. That's because your hands are moving faster and faster. It's creating thermal energy. Sound energy is produced by vibrations, and we can prove that really quickly in the classroom. If you put your hand on your throat and hum, you will feel your throat vibrating. Sound travels in waves, and it does not travel through empty space. It must travel through matter. So if you were standing on the moon in outer space where there is no atmosphere around you, and you screamed at the top of your lungs, not one other soul would hear you. There would be no sound. There is no sound in space. So one of the things that gets really confusing with energy in the 5th grade is the difference between the two words used or produced. Energy can be used by different things, or it can be produced by different things. And usually, when something uses one type of energy, it produces another type. So energy can change form. When energy is used by something, the energy is supplying power to that thing. For example, when we use a hairdryer, electrical energy is being used by the hairdryer. So if the hairdryer is using electricity to turn on and work, the hairdryer then produces or sends out thermal energy. The reason I use a hairdryer is that I want that heat or thermal energy to dry my hair faster. So the electricity is going into the hairdryer is using the electricity, and the hairdryer is producing thermal energy in the form of heat so I can dry my hair. Where kids get tripped up a lot is they tend to personalize the using. It isn't about you using the energy. It's about the object that needs energy to work. We'll talk about it a lot, and we'll go over it, and we'll do a lab and all kinds of fun stuff. But try to keep it in mind, using it and producing it are two different things. So let's take a quick glance at a few just for practice. What form of energy does this bicycle produce? What comes out of the bicycle? When you are riding it, what comes out of it? Sound energy comes out. You can hear the tires moving. You can hear the brakes squeaking. You can hear the chain clacking. So sound comes out of the bike when I ride it. Mechanical energy is produced by the bike. The tires move, the pedals move, the handlebars move while it's in use. What form of energy does the bicycle use? What makes it go? Yep, mechanical energy makes it go too. So in this case, mechanical energy makes the bike go. The bike is using mechanical energy, your legs pedaling away. And the bike also produces sound energy and mechanical energy. So here's a flashlight. Let's start at the bottom. What form of energy does this flashlight use? What makes it work? Electrical. And in this case, we would call it chemical electrical because it's a battery. What form of energy does the flashlight produce? What's coming out of the flashlight? Light. Could we be really specific and say that the flashlight also produces sound energy because I can hear it click when I turn it on? Sure. Could I say that I also have to use mechanical energy because I have to push the button? Sure. But in most cases, we don't need to be that picky. But as a case of point for example, those two things are correct. So what two forms of energy is this candle producing? Producing is coming out. Light and thermal. The candle lights up a space in the room and it's hot. I'm going to go back to this real quick. Another thing that's happening, we said that energy causes change. The candle is actually changing because of the thermal energy. It's going from a solid to a liquid as it melts because of the thermal energy that's being produced by the candle. So we said that energy can change form from one to another. So one example is solar energy is used by the solar panel. The solar panel produces electrical energy. The traffic light uses that electric energy and produces light energy. All these things are energy causing change. So chemical electrical is used by the radio, and the radio produces sound. That's the change, energy changing from one form to another. It was chemical energy, and it was changed into sound energy. So here's another example. Electrical energy is being used by the TV, and the TV is then producing light and sound energy in the form of a movie. Mechanical energy is being used by the windmill, by the turbine, to produce electrical energy. Then that electrical energy would then in turn be used by our hairdryer example and produce thermal energy. So it can cause a chain reaction, being changed from one form to another. So here we have a little video to help you remember the forms of energy. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope this quick preview of energy, its 5 forms that we'll be talking about, and the difference between using and producing has been entertaining for you. And of course, this will be on my website. You can go back and listen to it anytime you want. And it might help you study. This information is not on your benchmark, so don't worry about memorizing it. The benchmark covers from matter through life, through complete and incomplete metamorphosis. So this is the new stuff that's coming up after the benchmark, but I just wanted to give you a quick preview. Thanks again for being awesome kids while I'm out. I hope you are working very hard and being as polite and accommodating to our guest teacher as you can be. I will see you soon.